Thursday, 1452 Love Sex Year 2025, 6th month, 5th day, June 5th anniversary, HJR 192. Brother's gonna go out, get the camera, shut this fucking light off. There's the television. There's a gold Ranger truck outside, near the burnt house out back. That's the guy who I saw at the fire yesterday. So he was trimming the bushes right there that were burnt. So this is the house once again. Might as well jump over the fence. Someone's back here raking stuff up, cleaning off the wood and everything. So he's going over here. Anyway, so here's the blue tarp. Okay, so it's a blue tarp with the black edges. That's all it is. Regular fences. All right. So it looked like it had a black tarp. Now this brother was going over here. This house is for sale. Got a for sale sign up in front. Brother's got a lot of. So it looks like they empty. People are emptying. People are trimming their shrubs and brush, bringing the vegetation. Bring the vegetation. Brother's picking up some vegetation here. People are driving their vegetation over to here. More than likely, this is where he drove the truck to. And putting their vegetation over here, and then there's a connection with the city guy. Okay, so he just drove through here. That was the only way to drive through. Anyway. Put the vegetation there in the sticks. So he was driving through here. Thought he was gonna, because this was all filled with vegetation. And then the city lawnmower guy came. Next thing you know, this was all. Looks like the city lawnmower guy had a tractor access the tractor. And then scooped all this stuff, leveled it off for landfill. This is the neighbor's yard, and he came in here with the tractor, kind of leveled it off in here, tractor tracks and stuff inside here. That's the neighbor's house here. She just moved in. There's some brush and stuff there. This is where Russell's at. So anyway, so that's that. Anyway, so that's a gold Ranger. Dad used to have a Ranger like that. So, and Dad's name popped up on the phone when the phone was somewhat hacked. Couldn't call during the emergency when this house caught on fire at 2:45 a.m. in the morning, and you had to go pound on the neighbor's door. And we went out to the back, and she said, "There's a fireman there already. Someone's there." She could see a hose being sprayed from over in the White House. The White House. All right, so someone, the neighbor had all kinds of fence wood here. This neighbor here. So here's some of the fence wood. Guy on his bike. Yeah. So it's all been moved out over to here. So all that's been moved out over there. So anyway, going down the bike path. This is the house. They painted, or some of the other neighbors painted the fences out here because this used to be all bandana, graffiti, gang warfare. So anyway, all right, so this house had the firemen took a lot of the stuff out of the house and opened the garage door and set it here. There was a car here, but during the fire, no one was here. They must have busted the door down because there's a thing on the door. And then here's the Restoration Pros. Now this was a Biden-Harris sign that used to be here in the front. Anyway, so there's where the house got. Firemen went back there. They tore all the fucking side of the wall off the house. This house got a little bit melted. This is the White House from the back. That's the real estate agent. For sale, Icon Real Estate. Anyway, so here's the brother's truck. This is the guy that lives here. So, and then there's the truck, and then he had some free flowers on the side of the road the Russell got. Here's the mailbox. So, that's that. We got a nice motorhome. So it's kind of nice to know who's who. Nice to know who's who around here and get to know their faces and whatnot. Because anybody's suspect with this fire that happened. Got the tarp on. There's the tarp up there on the roof because the fire got up into the attic. It's a nice house. Very nice house. And they're all into shamanism, Buddha. Older people are here, but I suppose the insurance company is going to, hopefully, the renters wonder where they're going to live now. Where would they get money to live in another place? Because the inside of that house is unlivable. All the smoke damage. So, got some boards here to help hold stuff up. Yeah, so the house caught fire right in here, and then it worked its way to the house, and in between the house there was a planter. Between the house there's a planter, pretty good sized planters like this one. It's a pretty good sized planter to put plants in. And there was another one over here, except it was a little bit bigger, and it went lengthways with the house, probably 8 foot, 5 foot, 8 foot. But over the top, connected to the trees, was a tarp, and it wasn't put up neatly. It was, like a plastic tarp. It wasn't put up neatly. It was put up kind of makeshift. It looked ugly. And brother, it kind of stood out for being a nice house and all that, It really stood out. And so someone could have set the fire right here, knowing that plastic tarp was there. It could have been put there on purpose. This could have been all done on purpose. You got to figure that because of the Biden-Harris vote for Harris sign out. So one can figure that. It doesn't matter. Trump's got arsonists on his side too. but could have. Remember, everything's a could be. So it worked its way. Someone could just pour gasoline right in here, set it on fire, walked away. 2:45 a.m. in the morning. It's dark, no one around. And the fire worked its way to the planter, and it caught the plastic tarp. It was a good sized tarp, stretching all the way to the house. That's gonna be at least 20 foot, 20 by 20 tarp, 20 by 15 tarp, stretched all the way to the house. It was brown in color. That thing catches on fire, and then it catches up underneath the fire, up underneath the roof, and it just crawled its way all the way up to the attic, got into the attic, and then inside, and started. After the fireman put the flames out for the most part, and he left the fence down a little bit down, burning toward the ground, because no use wasting energy, water. And there was flames coming out the top through the vents, just a little bit of flame. So the fire had worked its way all the way up to the house, into the attic. And like I said, the fireman had tore the whole side of the house off to get in there. Tore the walls down inside to get in, be sure all the fire was out. And then the neighbor's fence caught on fire. There's a little bit of some of the neighbor's fence, or planter or something with the fence. Oh, that's a planter on the burnt house side. And there's the fence post right there. Fence post is right there, and then behind it is a planter on the burnt house side. And in this house side, there's a fence post. That fence just got burnt. And then on this side of the house is the paint blistered up. But I can see the reflection in the mirror, or I can see it on the camera. Looks like some windows got damaged because there were tarps on the windows. But yeah, so that's that. Anyway, this is May 5th, June 5th, ASR 192 anniversary day. So this is where homeless people like to stay. And of course, this is on the fence where Russell's at. It says, looks like it says sexums, and then there's the thing that says James down here, and then this is rapist, and then and then the black. See, Russell came in and he put everything in brackets. He sprayed on here everything in brackets in red. Russell did. And that's the maritime system information. And then they came, and then whoever spray paid this stuff came back the next day and put these brackets around. Put the brackets around. And then at first brother just kind of got it smaller, but then he came out here again and repainted it, put the red, and repainted it again, because there's two red marks here. He repainted it again. And then afterwards, a couple days, he thought on it. He says, "Wow, that looks just like fucking tiger's teeth, a big cat's teeth. There's the bottom jaw, the closer ones, and here's the top jaw. See down here, that would be the teeth." So anyway, so people like to come here and rest up against the tree, homeless guys and whatnot. Someone kicked the fence in over here, so brother just put them on the other side. There's some ants doing their little thing, ant dance. So brother put all these screws in here now. Everything is screwed in, so the fence ain't going nowhere. So all this vegetation, someone moved all this vegetation. Someone moved it, and it could have been the neighbor here, because when he put this fence up, he just left the old fence right here, right there with the vegetation. Brother just left the old stuff, so now it's out here. So who knows? Here's a fence post. Look at this. That's a nice fence post. But it belongs to the neighbor, so just leave it right here. The neighbor might want it, so don't touch anything. don't touch anything that belongs to the neighbor. There's a thing there. Here's an old fence post. This one's still there hanging on. And there's some nailed stuff here. So the neighbor put this fence up. This is an 8-foot fence. And then the city limits 8 foot plus 2 extra foot, but it has to be lattice on the top if one wants to put a 10 foot. According to the things that the neighbor and Russell, neighbor's Carla, we were having a discussion the other day, and it's on video. She did. Brother let her know that the recording was going, so she's used to it. So anyway, brother spray painted all the and wire brushed any rust, and spray painted anything that looked like it was gonna corrode. Got up in there, got all the bolts up in there, tightened the bolts. All the bolts are tightened. So now the brother's gonna get a. He's gonna pump it. Brother pumps it daily. Pumps it daily. Just put the bucket here. Keep the water level up. And then it's got an extra hose turned on if need be. There seems to be water in it, so just crack it a little. This thing gets loose right here because it broke, so he had to fix the broke part and put a new bolt in. So just a little bit, and it's catching. Brother can feel it, so it can open it just a little at a time, and then it'll start to. As long as it's going hard, open it a little more. And this pipe is full with rocks all the way, 15 foot full of rocks. The kids that lived here before filled it with rocks. See? And then out comes the water. You can open it all the way up, and it'll keep pumping. And then just close it down a little bit, and get it with a downstroke on the all the way closed. There. That's that. And then come over here and plant the plants, water the plants. Good well water, so. The little plants stay wonderful. This one right here got a little bit funkle bunked. So put some dirt there to keep the little guy happy. Prop him up a bit. Dirt off the water. Should have got a little bit more water out, but it didn't happen, so. There's still a little watery from this. That's the neighbor's plant. It's called a zinnia. The neighbor's plant's right there. From the truck outside that we just saw on the video. He had some plants on the side. Alright, so there, everything's watered, so that's wonderful. That's the end of the video because the battery goes out quick, so later.